Our studio time check says it's 38 minutes past 6 a.m. Good morning to you, dear listener. Thank you for tuning to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. I'll start off quickly this morning with an apology to our listeners. Thank you so much for being patient and staying with us. It's 38 minutes past 6. The show starts at 6:30. So thank you so much for the 8 minutes of your time. We sincerely appreciate it. This morning, it's Perspectives Unlimited as usual. We're taking a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across different dailies in Nigeria. We'll get into the stories, we'll discuss them, try to help you make sense of the stories making the rounds this morning. You're welcome. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola, and this is Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. We're located along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. That's where we're broadcasting from. You can reach out to us. You can follow us. Would like you to follow us on our social media platforms. Find us on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. On Instagram, TikTok, and X at Wells Radio 893. Visit our website to listen to us live. Visit our website to find out more about Wells Radio 89.3 FM and our related entities at www.wellsradio893.com. That's our website, www.wellsradio893.com. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. You're welcome this morning. We're going straight into Perspectives Unlimited. We're taking a look at the front pages this morning, and we'll start with the front page of the Punch newspaper, the Vanguard rather. The lead headline says, after a 6-month break, food inflation resumes upward climb, rises 12.12%, the writer says, driven by hike in prices of beans, yam flour, others. Kogi, Benue, Anambra record highest headline, food inflation rates. Katsina, Imo, Ebonyi, lowest. That story is on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Scores feared dead as multiple explosions rock Maiduguri. You find that on page 26 of the Vanguard this morning. Nigerian artists raking 60 billion naira on Spotify in 2025. That's according to a report you find that on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Straits of Hormuz. EU rejects Trump's demand for help. That's on page 8. Southwest leaders to federal government. Governors collaborate to tackle insecurity. That's on page 15. Turaki's PDP to APC, you're delusional. Ryder says defections won't kill opposition. That's on page 26. And we see this. I didn't interview Emefiele during probe, says EFCC witness. That's on page 16 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Hardship. Civil servants demand 154,000 naira minimum wage. That's on page 8. States account for 48% public spending, says Bagudu. That's on page 5. Moving on to the Punch newspaper front page, federal government activates evacuation plan as Middle East crisis worsens. The rider, federal government engages Nigerian embassies, NAF and airlines to facilitate safe return. Iran envoy says Nigerian students, residents can exit via safe land borders. And finally, Emirates suspends Dubai operations, worsens travel uncertainties for Nigerians. That story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Petrol, diesel vessels arrive Nigeria amidst price surge. Why imported petrol still enters Nigeria? That's from the NMDPRA. You find that story on page 33 of the Punch newspaper. Tinubu promises tariff relief for media companies. That's on page 14 of the Punch as well. More headlines. Probe begins after Kaduna-Abuja train accident injures passengers. All right, you found that on the Punch as well, page 34. Bomb explosions hit Maiduguri after security forces repel insurgents' attack. That's on page 45. Police seek help to identify a woman's body found in Oyo. That's on page 5. Finally, Oyedele vows tax reforms implementation after swearing in. That's on page 44 of the Punch newspaper this morning. On the front page of the Daily Trust, many feared dead in Maiduguri explosions. It's on the front page, continued on pages 3 and 4 with a whole lot of data there. Witnesses recount Kaduna-Abuja train accident. That's on page 5. 200 families displaced in Cross River. You find it on page 34. 5 foreigners kidnapped at Zamfara mining site. That story is on page 8 of the Daily Trust newspaper. ADC alleges plots to destabilize party. That story is on page 12 of the Daily Trust newspaper. On the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, Tinubu in historic visit to UK to sign MOU on trade, investment and defense. The other headlines are very similar to the ones we've taken. So at this point, I'll bring in our analyst on the show this morning, Mr. Chukwemeka Munachi. So good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Bola.
How do you do?
I'm okay.
I mean, we didn't see over the weekend, so I hope your weekend was okay.
Yeah, it was fine. By the special grace of God. You know, we did Mother Sunday on Sunday. You're a mother now. You didn't do anything for us.
The issue for me on Sunday was that Sunday wasn't Mother's Day.
What was it?
It was Mothering Sunday.
Whether Mother's Day or Mothering Sunday, you didn't
the only thing that it had to do with mothers was that it's something. It happens during this Lenten season, and it's just like an observation, a day where you go to you visit your mother's church. Or your mother church, the main church. So it really has nothing to do with mothers. And I felt like a bad child because based on that understanding, I didn't reach out to my mom.
How do we celebrate it in Nigeria? Do we go to our mother's church, Bola?
That's what it should be. You go to the main church. The main church, you're not even your mother's church, your mother church. Like if you attend the parish, maybe you attend the branch, you go to the headquarters. That's the point of the Mothering Sunday.
Would this high cost in transportation?
All right, so whichever way, I think at the bottom line is whichever way you chose to celebrate it, it's all good as long as you celebrated it. So I'll see what I can do. Maybe I'll pay transport so everyone goes to their mother church. All right, you're welcome, sir. Let's get into the headlines making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria this morning. Of course, we'll start with the unfortunate incident that happened in Maiduguri yesterday evening. I was just settling down for the night when I saw videos. We'll take the story from the Daily Trust because the Daily Trust is closer to the north. It says many people are feared dead in multiple explosions that hit Maiduguri, Borno State capital Monday evening. The explosions occurred simultaneously at the gate of the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, the Monday Market roundabout, and the post office. The incident happened 15 hours after terrorists had attacked military locations at Ajari, Baga, and Damboa. They say, we broke our fast and we're about to leave the market after closing our shops when the first bomb detonated. I heard a loud sound and just saw my neck bleeding. It was my brother that used his cloth to tie my neck and brought me to the hospital. This is according to one of the victims, Abacha Mustafa. Another witness, Umar Bolori, told Daily Trust correspondent that the terrorists sneaked in the IED to the Monday market using tricycles. He said, we saw how the IED was detonated from a tricycle, while the other one detonated close to the security vehicle where commuters were trying to board the 15-hour metro buses. Security sources said that the Boko Haram terrorists planted some of the IEDs, which are short form for improvised explosive devices, in parts of the town, while some others were detonated by female suicide bombers. And the casualty figure has still not been, ascertained. But according to the Daily Trust, they say that a member of staff of the Nigerian Red Cross had told them that 5 people had so far been pronounced dead, according to that person. And it's a sad one. But I want to come this way this morning. As hard as we may try to deny it, insecurity is ravaging almost every part of Nigeria. There's literally no part that is immune. As much as Southwesterners will try to say, oh, we're still relatively safe, the truth is we're not very safe. Insecurity has sneaked in upon us. Now, we see people year in, year out protest, either on social media, in person, about the state of insecurity. We have seen people from Benue, from Kogi, come out to the streets to protest about the state of insecurity. But in places like Maiduguri and Borno, where, this thing started, we haven't exactly seen people come out to the streets to protest. And it is said that that is the first step towards total deliverance, when you acknowledge that there's a problem and you speak out against it.
You see, Ebola, It's unfortunate that we are in a country where leaders no longer bothered about who lived and who died. You understand? The question you just asked this morning, people in Maiduguri, if you read the story of what is going on in Maiduguri, you know the reason why they can't come out. That place, they are even afraid that they've been encircled. They won't come out. They
won't come out, but we will likely still see them on the map for the 2027 elections.
They will come out to vote. But when it comes to protest against insurgency, they may not likely come out because of the danger. They will expose themselves. The people in Kogi and Benue, they came out because they know that, we have to let's go and tell the world what we are passing through. But people in Maiduguri are afraid of coming out because this thing happens almost every time. Imagine if they come out. Imagine if terrorists even enter into their midst and begin to denotate one thing or the other. That's why they won't come out. And this thing happening in Burundi right now is a pointer that Nigeria is dealing with lunatics. People that are deranged, people that are
beyond reasoning.
In fact, we are in a holy month of Ramadan, according to Islam. And these people claim to be Muslims. And they are coming out to do this dastardly act in this month where they know that Muslim faithfuls are undergoing fasting. These people are they are savages. And the worst of all is that the state is so comatose. The state is not even willing to go after these people. And what bothers me, Bola, is why has insurgency persisted despite huge sums of money spent on security? You know, where went the trillions of naira reportedly spent in security? Where went this money? Corruption? And we cannot solve this problem of insecurity if there is if there is still injustice, social inequality. Bola, army of unemployed youths are rising on daily basis, and these people are vulnerable to recruitment.
I want us to talk about the response of the state. Now, to this that happened yesterday, the Borno State Governor, Professor Babagana Zulum, he's apparently in Saudi Arabia for the Lesser Hajj, and his special advisor on media, put up a press statement, as usual, condemning the attack. We've seen this time and time again, from the presidency to the governors to whoever is in charge, always condemning condemning this act. We've even seen from the military as well, condemning this act and giving us promises upon promises. How do we begin to hold them responsible for the promises, and how do we ensure that the executive arm does more than just pay lip service by condemning?
The executive arm is fixated on 2027 election. That's why I said we are in a country where leaders no longer bothered about who lived and who died. It's a shame. But let me tell you something. How can you, a leader, you come out, people are dying in droves, not one, not two, and this country is not officially at war with anybody. And have you ever seen any politician of note in Nigeria today? Have you seen any security operative of note in Nigeria today coming out to tell Nigerians enough is enough? All they're after is platitudes. Oh, we're on top of the situation. Oh, we are going to do this thing. Oh, we condemn the destiny.
And they're expecting renewed funding.
That is why I said that corruption, this thing has become an industry. But many people are stakeholders in this business of insurgency. So and they won't allow it to die.
So my question still remains: how then do we start to ensure that they do more than what they're currently doing? As the people.
We as the people who are representing us, we can't go to to Aso Villa as a people. We have so-called representatives. Are they representing us? Are they speaking up?
So we need to start from our representatives.
Yes, they are the people that should look executive in the face and tell them that enough is enough. That's why most of them cannot go to their constituencies, because they know they have failed the people. All they are after is, let me stay in Abuja. From being a House of Rep, I will join to Senate. From Senate, I'm going. The people are just left on their own. That's why many of them are holed up in Abuja. They can't go home because they know they have let the people down, and the people are just like people are rudderless. No compass, no direction, no guidance, nothing. Nigeria is just a wasteland. Look at how people are dying on daily basis. But how can we justify this? And in a situation where we have reportedly spent trillions of naira on insurgency, we have spent this money to secure arms and ammunition, and yet the people are dying on daily. Which country does that? Tell me which country in Africa where people are dying like that, except in this country, and yet we have leaders. All they after is we go to sign a memorandum. What are you signing? Memorandum of what? Is it not trade this thing? Is it not when you secure your space, you begin to bring in partners to come and trade with you? Bola, I read this story this morning. My heart, I don't know, because we have the death of any Nigerian is the death of our collective humanity. We are human beings. These people have fathers, they have mothers, they have children, and they have uncles, and many of them have dreams, just like you and I. So where went that dream? The state failed them, and we are preparing for 2027. What kind of rubbish is that?
All right. The answer in all of this is that we need to start, because the thing is, nobody's going to come to tap you to say, hey, be free. You're going to have to ask for it. And so that is why, I asked that question, and I hold on to the answer that you gave, that we need to start from our representatives. That's the word. They represent us, and we need to start from
the
them.
danger in our representatives keeping quiet is that if the people should rise up on their own, brother, it will be chaotic. If the people should say enough is enough, I don't think even the leaders will run away, because without the people, you are not leading anybody. So I pray we don't get to that level where Nigerians will wake up one day and say, Otoge, as Yorubas used to say it, enough is enough. This thing happened in 1917. Let me go back into history. Around the 70s, after the Civil War in the Southeast, there was massive armed robbery operations every corner. People were being killed. The state couldn't do anything. Go and Google. Then one day, we didn't know how the thing started. It was just impromptu. People gathered in Onitsha because they know the armed robbers, their leaders. That's why you hear the word. There are some nicknames as a banco. So many big nicknames they were bearing then. People rose up one day. They call it Boys Oye. Google Boys Oye. It was a revolution, not planned. Headless is a mob. They were going from place to place, bringing those people, killing them in the presence of their. They even went around all Anambra towns where they know these people come from, brought them and killed them in the presence of their parents. Many people were killed. After that incident, Bola, the state became quiet. If we rise to that level, if it happens at the national level, it will lead to something terrible. That time I was still in primary school. Boys Oye, it was a massive revolution. That the first time I was witnessing a mob coming out, moving from place to place because they know the people.
And we definitely don't want to get to
we
that
don't want
level.
to get to that level.
We urge people to please do not take law into your own hands. It's not what should be done.
It's not the best. It's not the best. That's why I'm telling you that it is not the best.
Let's learn from history.
Yes, we learned. In fact, they even set hotels built by those people ablaze. Went to their family houses, set everything ablaze. It was a massive destruction. I pray Nigeria will not get to that level where Nigerians will wake up one day and say enough is enough. Our leaders should look into history and do the needful. These people need to be protected. Nigerians, whether in the north or south or anywhere, whether Muslim or Christians, we are all human beings. And I detect the fact that these things are happening in the month of fasting. How come? That goes to show you that these people are deranged. They are all lunatics and savages.
All right. Thank you so much for that wonderful analysis. It's time for us to just more than, we love to get your calls, but more than just calling us, let's also call out our representatives. Since everyone is fixated on the 2027 elections, let's also make it count for us as a people. We'll take a break shortly, but there's this headline also that says witnesses recount Kaduna-Abuja train accident. Now, apparently, several passengers yesterday sustained injuries following a collision by the Abuja-Kaduna train, and the incident occurred near Asham along the busy rail line connecting Abuja and Kaduna. Many people sustained injuries. There were videos circulating on social media showing damaged coaches and railway personnel inspecting the affected train. So apparently they say that there was a rear locomotive and a passenger coach next to it, and so it was due to a coupling issue. That's what they said. But I want to point out the fact that this particular Kaduna-Abuja railway corridor, exactly this Asham route, Asham Station automatic crossing. In 2025, we had at least 2 that I can recall. We had at least 2 incidents that I can recall. The NSIB, that's the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, investigated the matter, and they said a whole lot of things. And one would expect, they said things about infrastructure, equipment that wasn't working well, and they also mentioned staff who had not been given refresher trainings, and
it's still happening again.
And it's still happening again. We're trying to move to a more efficient way of transportation. But if this railway is not even safe,
if you are bringing in people to do such things for you, it was done by Chinese. If you are bringing them to do such things in China, if you construct roads, but if they give construction of roads to any company and people die on that road or accidents occur on that road, do you know Chinese government will come after the company? There are serious sanction. It means you don't know what you are doing. But when they come to a country like Nigeria, third world country,
do you really think it's about the Chinese? Because in the NSIB reports last year, they had said that it was because this equipment were not serviced and managed properly.
Look,
we'll take a short break.
They won't tell you the truth. Okay.
We'll take a short break. When we come back from that break, I'm so sorry. When we come back from that break, we'll continue this discussion. It's possible because it's a very important discussion that we must have. So don't go anywhere. It's Perspectives Unlimited on Wales Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Do you want to eat and stay healthy? Are you looking for healthy, high-quality chickens? Do you desire to start your own poultry farm? SMC Foods is your reliable plug for your healthy chickens. We specialize in the sales of premium and healthy chickens and poultry produce. We offer consultation services for your poultry farm setups. We are located at Oluyole Extension, Olusoji, Ibadan. To place your order or for enquiries, call Oduekun on 0813-970-3731. At SMC Foods, we are reliable, tested, and trusted.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour. I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data. Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service. One Data? Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811-223-2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817 665 7060, 0707 338 4828. SEC 0209 462 1168. Announcer FSRCC.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Ayo on 0706 840-7359. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
All right, sincere apologies for that. Thank you so much for staying tuned and being with us over the break. It's still Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. We're still taking a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria this morning. You can find us on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. That's where we're currently broadcasting live from. But listen to us via our website as well, www.wellsradio893.com. Let's continue taking a look at headlines making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria this morning. Federal government activates evacuation plan as Middle East crisis worsens. And you can also be a part of the conversation. Our phone lines are open. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-3333-893. These are the numbers to call to be a part of the conversation this morning. All right, now it says federal government activates evacuation plan as Middle East crisis worsens. Now, the federal government on Monday said it is working out administrative procedures and the release of funds for the evacuation of Nigerians affected by the ongoing crisis in parts of the Middle East. We know what's happening in the Middle East. And I made this call on Saturday evening because on one of our shows here, where I said that Nigerian nationals have been crying out on X, on social media platforms, saying that the Nigerian government, the embassies over there are not even responding to them. Nobody has answers for them on if the Nigerian government will be able to, evacuate them from Dubai. It's people in Dubai who made that call to say that other countries have been evacuated by their national carriers. But Nigerians are still there. And the worst part, they said, is that if you try to leave, with other countries, once you put in your passport details, the procedure stops. The process stops. It's an online process. So once you put in your passport details, it stops. Once they see your nationality, regardless of whether you flew in from Nigeria or you flew in from the UK or wherever, as long as they see that you have the green passport, the process stops online. Now, they said that the only way you could get out of there as a Nigerian was to go with, I think, the Kenya Airlines. And even with that, when other countries come to evacuate their people, it's free. So if you're going with the Kenya Airlines, you will pay for Kenya to pick you from Dubai to Nigeria. You will pay to go from Kenya, from Dubai to Kenya, then you pay from Kenya to Nigeria. And of course, the other part is that the Kenya airline will pick Kenyans first. They place priority on their people before they now look at Nigerians.
Of course.
And now we are hearing here that the federal government has said that it is still working out administrative procedures and the release of funds. And we know how the matter of release of funds can be in our country.
The summary of it all is that's why, I said something when we were starting this conversation this morning, that our leaders do not care who died or who lived. If you like, stay there. If you like, find dialogue with your legs and cross the border to Armenia or Azerbaijan and go your way. If you wait for Nigerian government, you wait till eternity. Look, Bola, we are talking of a dysfunctional system that we have. Look at what is playing out in Rome. Do you know that some of our ministers and our government functionaries were not allowed to attend a function in Rome, despite the fact that they paid, yet they were discriminated against because they look at what is going on here. That these people, what kind of human beings are these? We don't even respect ourselves inside this place. The government does not put us into consideration. So why do you think you go to another country? It is there the ambassador as we consider you. He will not, because charity will begin at home. Do we even care for our citizens? Look at what's happening at Medugri. All we hear are platitudes. We're on top of the situation. Condemnation. Look at the hunger in the land. What we are talking about, you are not even talking. The NLC is saying, look, you can cushion the effect by removing. Look at what Dangote said yesterday: 40 charges to different government agencies before they can sell their fuel. 40 charges. Who bears the brunt of those charges? Nigerians. If you remove those 40 charges, don't you think Nigerians will have a breather? But government will not do that. Now, if you don't care for your citizens at home, is it ambassador that is another country will now begin to care for Nigerians? That's why Nigerians don't identify with their embassy when they travel abroad. Because when there's a problem, you are practically on your own. What Nigerians in Iran should do right now is let them walk go by road to Armenia. Iranians are escaping to Turkey. Some civilians Iranians are going to Turkey. Nigerians can equally explore that route.
Before you, even if for them to be able to get into Turkey by land, they still have to show their passports at the border. That's the problem.
But it's better you are at the border than you are in the theater of the action. When you are at the border, you are hearing the bombings. You are no longer inside the town. It's better to go to the border and stay. If you are detained at the border, it's even better than that you are inside Iran, where missiles are dropping like rain. But if you are at the border with Armenia, Azerbaijan, and all those countries around Iran, it's even better. Or Turkey. You are at the border. At least they can't push you back to Iran. You are there until God helps you. But if you think that this woman, Abike Dabri, has he issued any statement?
We are fortunately not even hearing anything from her.
You won't hear. It is when a Nigerian does one feat abroad, maybe he does something that is good. Abike Dabri will come and say, this is a Nigerian. That's when he identifies with only those who have achieved one thing or the other. But when Nigerians are in problem, everybody goes silent. Bola, Nigeria is a strange country, honestly speaking. When I look at what is happening, and not that we don't have the means. We have the means to take care of everybody in this country. Why are our leaders so heartless? No conscience. How? Honestly speaking, Nigerians, the best thing for them right now is to go to the border and stay. If the government decides to come, fine. If they don't come, find their way to. If you have become, if you go to, if they can smuggle your way into Turkey or anywhere, only that you be living as
a fugitive.
As a fugitive, is it not better than to die in Iran? It's better. People are here to saying they want to, and see what Iran is even telling us, that they want to come and help us to fight insurgency.
And we were just talking about a statement from Abike Dabiro. I'll give you what she said. This was published on the website of NIDCOM on March 3rd. And the headline says, Middle East crisis, no distress calls yet from Nigerians in Iran. So she said that, so they said that this statement was credited to the Commission spokesman, Abdurrahman Balogun, but they have said that he didn't issue such a statement.
He didn't issue.
And they say that the Nigerians have called them inquiring about preparations for evacuation when it becomes necessary. And they say they are working with all relevant agencies to take the affected steps. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, madam. Please go ahead. Your name and where you're calling from. You're welcome.
On the issue of insurgency, they should put an end to the federal government that they should do everything possible to make sure they put an end to this insurgency we are facing in the country. As it has been on the rampant side, people are killing, kidnapped, being killed, which is not how it's supposed to be. And in the first place, is the federal government supposed to be negotiating with terrorists? And even they are not negotiating with these terrorists, it won't reach this day. So I'll just tell them that they put an end to all this. And as for Abike Dabi that said there are no distress call, is it until they receive distress call that they will start evacuating Nigeria? It's not how it's supposed to be. So they should do the needful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. May I clarify that it's not Abike Dabi Eriwa, because we need to fact check these things. She didn't say, she wasn't the one that the statement was credited to, and the person that the statement was credited to has come out to say that he did not say.
No, we are still on it when she called me.
Hello, good morning. Good morning to you, madam. Your name and where you're calling from?
Ruth calling from Malaka.
You're welcome, Ruth. Please go ahead.
Thank you. On the Abuja-Kaduna train derailment, it really reflects a failure of timing government action after the initial incident, because this has already happened before, and we thought they should have even taken steps. So it's high time the authority prioritize public safety and act to prevent affordable crisis. Why must they always wait the thing got bad before they take action? Please act fast on time. Good morning.
Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4-893, and 0911-3333-893. These are the numbers to call to be a part of the conversation this morning. Let's move on to other stories, shall we? Now, on the Punch newspaper, this headline here says, Tinubu promises tariff relief for Nigerian media companies. Now, it says that President Bola Tinubu has promised to review tariffs imposed on newsprint, broadcast equipment, and other materials used by media organizations as part of efforts to ease the financial burden on the Nigerian media industry. The president also promised support for the Nigerian media to challenge what they described as big tech dominance and anti-competitive activities in the media space. He apparently made this commitment at the weekend while receiving a delegation of the Nigerian Press Organization led by the president and publisher of The Guardian, and signed by according to the press release. Okay, so he had an interfaith dinner with the NPO delegation at the State House with notable industry leaders present, print, TV, majorly. It was print and TV, and of course radio. And this was some of the things that the president said. He said he's going to provide relief for media houses. Now, many media houses are struggling today. We were privileged to have the inside information. Let's take this call first. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, the beautiful radio woman.
Good morning to you, sir. You're welcome, sir.
This is Ginger Mary calling from Apata. God bless you, my sister.
Amen.
Now, I think on the bomb blast that happened in Borno State yesterday, actually it's been a while that had such an incident. But I thought Nigeria has gone past, the insurgents have gone past detonating bomb there and there. But when we have the recall of it yesterday, it's so sad because when I listened to some of the survivors of that incident, and their ordeal was not too palatable to hear. And what I thought the U.S. military are here in Nigeria to partner or to sensitize our own military here to teach them how to combat those military. And their impact is not fatally being felt. You can't even see the fact that those U.S. military guys, they are in our country. Can we now conclude that the military intelligence guys that came from U.S. that they are not capable of helping us in quelling the insurgency in this country? Because we are thought they are coming down to Nigeria to use detention, but instead it's increasing on a daily basis. Where may God rest the souls of those that are dead in that unfortunate incident. And lastly, on Nigerians that are in Iran, I think number one, safety is very, very paramount. They should ensure that they leave Iran. For example, the Iranian residents, they are leaving their country. The Iranians, they are leaving their country. So if you are a Nigerian, if you are still in Iran as of now, why the war is going on? I think the person is on his or her own. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mario, for your call this morning. All right. I said by virtue of being in this industry, we're privy to some of the challenges that media practitioners or media owners, let's leave it at media owners, face. And I know that one major contributing factor, if we're going to look at radio and TV, even print, is electricity. The lack of affordable electricity or the total lack of power, where we have to rely on diesel, petrol, solar for some. There's also the oversaturated market, and there's also the levies, that we pay.
You see, Bola, when you read that thing, it is not enough to make such promises. We have had such promises in the past. And
from from other governments.
Other governments, they amounted to nothing. Look, media owners are really going through a lot. What of importation of the equipment?
And the levies that you have
to pay. And the levies you have to pay for government who does not even bother to care whether you have advert to your station or not.
Whether you're turning over a profit
whether you are making profit or not, government does not. Which country does it happen? Where does it happen? This country, even people, look, the day we started this thing, even before we started, we put a signboard outside. You know, some people came here and said that they want to pull down the signboard. I said, what happened? They said that, I didn't tell you that they will close down the station. I almost slapped that guy, but God forgive me. Honestly, I said, you want to bring down the signboard? I was angry. He said, yes. I said, for what? He said, there's one levy, this and that. I said, you want to bring it down? Where are you from? If you look at them, they look like thugs. Until I saw one car, one bus, they parked somewhere. And look, government, if what they are saying right now, look how much diesel do we use on daily basis? Where do we get the money from? You give licenses to stations, you don't care whether they are making advert or not, because without advert, no station it's not sustainable. These people keep on putting money on daily basis, keep on putting money, and what the government does is that after that you go and pay tax, you go and pay levy for what you are not even making money from. Are you encouraging people to create avenues for employment, or are you discouraging them? Bola, what the president is saying, I will take it with a pinch of salt until we begin to see realities on the ground. If not, it is just like a promise made over a bottle of beer.
Well, back to the promise, the president said the government was reviewing the tax exemption list to include items used by the media, such as newsprint, plates, chemicals, and radio and television broadcast equipment, which currently attract between 5 to 10% tariffs. And that's one of the promises that the president made. And the NPO, that's Nigeria Press Organization, also requested for the president to direct the FCCPC to work with the media to investigate complaints that the big tech dominance and anti-competitive practice are costing local media at least 70% of its legitimate income. Honestly, I would say that, I'd like to say at this point that media, and we're speaking from the vantage point of, radio here, that radio stations are racking up so much cost. And it's not about even, staff employment.
No.
It's running costs that, at the end of the day, you're not really able to, put some money together to say we're able to turn over profits. There are so many costs, from levies to the government, taxes, and other costs that you rack up due to the inefficiency and ineffectiveness of the government. And so, more than just paying lip service, more than just, looking at these things, these are also issues that other Nigerians are facing. And so I would say that if the government cannot look into making life easier for Nigerians in general, then it's obviously not also going to be easier for media owners.
Oh no, you see, that's it. Another thing again is this. I keep saying it, Ebola. We have two major problems: power, security. Imagine if there is power. Imagine how much we spend on diesel. Do you know at times? That's why if we are on generator, the moment they bring light, we always quickly go. I always like them to quickly go and switch off the generator, because it breaks my heart that this thing will be running for how many hours. And we keep on pouring diesel. If there is electricity, do we think we'll be wasting money on diesel? So there are things that now the president is going about telling people to come and invest in Nigeria. Are they going to come with their generator? That's the question I keep asking. Why not fix this thing? Let them be working so that these people will have something that will attract them to come and invest here. If they come here and are they going to build their own dam? I don't know. Whether they will build another country for where they will, only them will be. I don't understand what is actually going on. So the question is, if you want to help the media, it is also like helping the whole country, because we are interrelated.
It's interconnected.
It's interconnected. We are all interconnected. How many journalists have been picked up in Nigeria? How many journalists, even press freedom? How many journalists have been picked?
That's a whole other conversation.
Whole lot of things. How many journalists have been picked in their home like poultry beds by security agents for what they didn't do? That is why I said that I will take this promise with a pinch of salt until we see the practicality of it on the ground. And even the media owners will begin to have a breather, because right now they are overburdened. All media owners in Nigeria are going through the crucible. Everybody who knows about that. But, people that will give you advert, is it not when they make profit they come and advertise? Are they going to advertise when people are not buying their goods?
So everyone is going through it at their own level. Everybody is going through it
at their own level. So it is not enough to make a promise only to media as owners. The generality of Nigerians are involved in this.
All right, as we gradually wind down on the show this morning, let's go to the health sector. The phone lines are still open. We still have 3 minutes more to take calls, so you can put your calls through 0916 893 1000, 0915 333 4893, and 0911 3333 893. Please note we won't be taking calls after 7:28. All right, now the number of deaths from Lassa fever in Nigeria rose from 99 to 109 in just 7 days, which is significantly higher than the number recorded during the same period in 2025. Now, the country has also continued to witness an increase in cases among health workers. According to data obtained from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, at least 37 health workers have been infected in the first 9 weeks of 2026, with 6 health workers affected in 1 week alone. Now, according to this NCDC data, at least 18 states in Nigeria have recorded at least one confirmed case of Lassa fever. They're from 5 states: Bauchi, Ondo, Taraba, Benue, and Edo. And we're looking at, again, another spread of Lassa fever. We know how Lassa fever is spread. It's from these rats.
It's rats. It's a species of a rat.
Yeah, rats, yes.
That was found in Lassa in Plateau State.
It's a hemorrhagic illness, and it can be fatal. It can lead to death. And I want us to talk about the place of healthcare workers. A healthcare worker died in Benue State because she or he, I'm not sure of the gender, had contracted Lassa fever from a pregnant person. And it's about the lack of adequate resources for healthcare workers, the lack of adequate healthcare resources, the care resources, and then we then have the Minister for Health saying that the mass migration of doctors is worsening Nigeria's health crisis.
Look, Bola, you just said something now, lack of adequate equipment, and the governors are ruling in trillions. Do you know how much they shared, FAC shared to federal government, to states and local governments? Where is the money going to? And yet the citizens cannot afford the basic necessities of healthcare. They can't afford it. Lassa fever is a killer disease, and it is when you come in contact. If you allow, I have done an experiment. I have done a research on rats. Rats, rats where their whiskers and their urine, they are two important things in their body. When they want to identify a place, they urinate in that place. And when they urinate, that is where they will know when they will come back. And the whiskers help them a lot. So Lassa fever is very, very dangerous, because if that's why you see, if one person contracts the disease here, it's likely going to affect to other, because the same rat will be coming back to that place, especially if they have something they are feeding on in that environment. Now it is time for people to be health conscious. Fumigate your place. Thank God that Oyo State government is now doing something about open defecation after our report on Wazobia, because people really called extensively, and the government is now about to start building toilets in different markets in Oyo State, which is a very good one. Our health must be our concern. If you don't take care of your health, if you are only running after money, when you get that money, you use the same money to run after your health.
Thank you to everyone who's commented on Facebook. Sulaiman Sharif says, good morning and kudos to everyone in the studio. People are killed on a daily basis by terrorists and who are now part of the system. Many of them have joined the military and you're expecting them to go out there and hunt their brothers. Some days ago, Gumi said that the federal government knows the bandits and their location and the government of Nigeria should explain. Adeomi Kazim Adika says, good morning, well done from New Garage. Thank you so much to everyone who liked the Facebook Live, who called us and sent their messages. This is how far we can go on Perspectives Unlimited. Don't worry, AM Sports is coming up next, followed by the news analysis program in Yoruba language. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Bolanle. May God save Nigeria.
So, my name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. Have a wonderful morning, and don't forget to call your reps to order. Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform